One of the awesome things about creating a business is you're building an asset that you could then sell. And that's what I want to talk about in this lesson. So when you're building your business, you might as well keep in mind that you'll have the option some point in the future to sell this asset if you choose to do so. With that in mind, you should be thinking about the different things that are important when you go to sell your business or what a buyer would be looking for. So some of the things that you should be considering is the lower risk the business is and kind of like the neater and nicer it is for them to understand and to purchase, the better the value will be. So for example here, having your business in a separate legal entity or a separate LLC gives it this nice container to sell in. And like it's not mixed up with personal finances or another business or anything like that. It's also going to be beneficial to have good bookkeeping and good financials. They'll of course want to know what the financials are, and if your bookkeeping is really messy, it's going to be difficult for the buyer. It's also good to have people or processes in place. So you don't necessarily need to have a bunch of employees, but if you have processes in place of who you're purchasing from and how often you purchase and things like that, that's going to be beneficial and that's going to increase the value of your business. It's also good to have a kind of like a strong history or track record. So if the business has only been around for 6 months, it's not going to be as interesting to a buyer because it's a little bit more risky. Whereas if you have like a 3 years of consistent growth year over year, it's going to be a very attractive business. And really anything else to minimize buyer risk. So things would be multiple sales channels, that would be maybe selling on different marketplaces. Anything to remove risk for the buyer is going to improve the valuation of it. So the businesses typically get valued on a multiple of, let's call it your monthly profit. And there's a few different brokerages. A few of the more popular ones are Empire Flippers or FE International or Quiet Light. And on there, I've typically seen businesses go for roughly 30x monthly profit. So if your monthly profit is $2,000 per month, 30 times that would be a $60,000 business. If it's $10,000 a month, now you're starting to talking about some pretty big numbers and some really nice exits. And of course, it can continue to go up and up from there. So even if you are not thinking that you want to sell your business at this point, I would go ahead and build the business, having those things in the back of your mind so that you always leave that option open for you in the future. Because it is pretty nice to know like, okay, if I don't want to run this anymore, or if I'm sick of it, or I need the cash to start another business or do something different, I've created this asset that can generate me a lot of cash. So best of luck growing and hopefully one day selling your business.